And are you Vanessa Castillo?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, defense, I'm showing you acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Castillo, I'm going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishments to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There's a $1,000 fine to be probated. There is no application for deferred adjudication. State recommends community supervision. There's $57 restitution to SAPD for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the agreement? Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution, and a referral to felony drug court. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense is charged in the indictment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, state offer states exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No objection.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor. We're asking to waive the PSI.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor. We just hope that the court will honor the plea bargain agreement.
All right, how old are you?
27.
And who is this person you were in the vehicle with? What is his relationship to you?
He's my ex-boyfriend.
Do you have any children?
I got 5.
What are their ages?
14, 10, 14, 10, 14, 10, 7, 5, and 4.
And where are they?
They're under CPS custody.
Is this the first time you've had interactions with CPS?
Yes.
All right, before this happened, were you employed?
Yes.
What were you doing?
I was doing landscaping with my friends.
And is this person Javier?
Yeah.
How far did she go in school?
I have my high school diploma.
What are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
Going back to school. Or getting me a good job and staying away from all the shopping.
But what do you want to do? Like many times people have dreams. I always wanted to be an attorney. So I just focused on that and that's what I did.
Well,
So what do you want to do? What do you want to be?
Become a detective in homicide.
Well, let me just tell you right now, with this case, that's probably eliminated.
Yeah.
So there are some things that you can't do or that you've made more difficult to obtain based upon this case. For example, anything that requires a license, they're going to check your background. They're going to see this. And it's going to be difficult, if not impossible, for you to do that. So that means nursing school, doctors, even if you want to be a cosmetologist, that requires a license. All right. So is there a drug issue? Why was CPS, well, why is CPS involved in your life?
Because of my boyfriend.
And how long have your children been in CPS custody?
For going on a year and a half.
So when you were with your boyfriend, CPS had your children.
Yeah.
So here's my question that I would always ask my client. People say they love their children. Why couldn't you give up your boyfriend for your children?
I did.
Well, no, you were in the car with them. And when CPS took your children, I'm sure they told you that you need to leave this boyfriend alone because obviously there's an issue. If somebody needs a screwdriver to turn off a vehicle, that means that the vehicle is probably stolen.
Right.
I use a key for my vehicle.
Right.
I think everybody else did. So you need to ask yourself why you chose a man over your 5 children. Because a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 10-year-old, maybe even the 14-year-old, You can't have these children and continue to give birth to children and bring them in the world and expect somebody else to care for them. Not my job. But since they're in CPS custody, guess who's taking care of your children? Everybody here who goes to work and pays taxes. You're not. You're not financially supporting them. You're not providing clothing for them. You're not providing shelter for them. You're not providing food for them. Your attorney is, he is, I am, everybody else who has a job. And I'm sure that CPS told you, and your attorney on the CPS side probably asked you, do you love your children? And I'm sure your answer was, what everybody answer is, I would walk through fire for my children. I would give my life for my children. And CPS told you, well, we're not expecting you to walk through fire. We're not asking you for that. We're not asking you to give your life. The only thing we're asking for you is, Javier, we want you to not have any contact and leave him alone. And you can do that. So here's my little side advice for you. Your 14-year-old, 10-year-old, 7-year-old, 5-year-old, and 4-year-old, when CPS sets up visits for you and you're supposed to be clean and sober to see them, if you have no plans on being clean and sober, don't be breezing in and out of your children's life, getting their expectations up that their mom is going to do right and be right, and then constantly disappointing them. And as another side advice, until you get your life together, and perhaps if you want to get your children back, you shouldn't get involved in any other relationship with anybody else. You understand? All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sentence you to 3 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 3 years. We're going to do a referral to felony drug court. You're going to remain in custody until drug court accepts you. And you need to be completely honest with them about your drug use. Otherwise, they're not going to accept you. If felony drug court does not accept her, do not release her. We're going to come back to court and I'm going to do something else. There's a $1,000 fine that's to be probated. There's to be CPS compliance. So if you don't do what you need to do for CPS, you're violating the terms of your probation. Do you understand? I'm going to ask for parenting classes. Of course, if CPS is giving her parenting classes and she's joined them with CPS, that's fine. I don't want to duplicate services. There's $57 restitution to SAPD for drug testing, 120 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. Court is not requiring you to do that, but if you do that, 40 of those hours will be waived. I'm going to want a TAP evaluation while in custody. There's to be weekly reporting. I'm going to want UA hotline until further notice. And if she successfully completes CPS requirements, then we can waive the remaining of the community service hours. I'm going to want proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And there's to be no contact with Javier Jimenez Zaragoza. And if I could make it so that you could have no contact with any adult male that is not a relative, I would, but I'm not allowed to do that. And if I could say you're not allowed to have any relationships, intimate relationships with anyone, I would order that, but I can't do that. But you had better start putting your children first. Otherwise, you're going to lose custody of them permanently. Do you understand? All right. Is there anything else you need from me in order to be successful? All right. Good luck to you. If you love your children, prove it. Court is calling 2023 CR 5104W, State of Texas versus Vanessa Castillo. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense.
Julie Pollock from this field.
And are you Vanessa Castillo?
Yes,
I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
yes,
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of failure to stop and render aid in a moving vehicle? The range of punishment for that offense is not more than 5 years in the prison, not less than 1 year in the Bear County Jail and a fine not to exceed $5,000. Did you understand? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. There are no applications, and this will run concurrent with 2022 CR 3840. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your
To
Honor.
the offense is charged in the information. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? How do you plead?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Your Honor, I submit State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
No objection.
Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with 2022 CR 3840. All right, I'm showing you what's entitled, we're going to proceed in 2022 CR 3840, showing you what's entitled First Amendment Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? Are you the same Vanessa Castillo who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 3840 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams on August 9th, 2022 for a term of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Judge, violated condition number 1 on or about the 16th day of April 2023 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant, Vanessa Castillo, committed the offense of fail to stop and render aid in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Your Honor, we waived the other violations alleged in the MTR.
Any objections to the waivers?
No objection.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 3 years in the prison and $1,000 fine? Did you understand?
Sorry.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
Your Honor, we're asking that Your Honor, we're asking for revocation and 2 years incarceration to run concurrent with cause number 2023 CR 5104W.
Is that the agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, are you asking the court to follow that agreement? Are you waiving your right to appeal? All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court will grant the motion, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with 2023 CR 5104W. All right, good luck to you. You're gonna have to make better decisions. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Update on a human smuggling operation busted up by the Bear County Sheriff's deputies yesterday. We're learning today that 7 suspected coyotes who were arrested have now been booked into the Bear County Jail. The sheriff's office has identified them, saying that they drove multiple vehicles that were found on the property at Oak Island Drive. In all, deputies say they believe the 26 migrants that were found yesterday were transported from the border. They say they were crammed into a false compartment under a flatbed trailer. It was disguised with corrugated pipes on top of it. As for their conditions, 12 of the 26 migrants were transported to University Hospital for minor injuries, and you can imagine heat-related illness as well. There are all of those migrants are between the ages of 18 years old to 54 years old. We're told 1 migrant is still hospitalized for dehydration, as well as cardiac-related issues.